Pisces gang, welcome to my channel Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. We're going to read your tarot cards. We're doing it a little bit differently this time. I have pulled the cards off camera for reasons I will explain later. But anyway, let's do it. Let's hop in. These are general messages. Take away only what resonates. Please release the rest. Not every reading I do will resonate with all of you out there, so keep that in mind. All right, so I pulled 3 cards out of Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot, which is a really fun deck. I'm really enjoying it. So we have a little 5 of Pentacles going on. So we also have King of Cups, which I actually do really love in this reading. And then we also have the 10 of Wands, or the 10 of Candles as it is called. So those are your general tarot messages. I'm sort of looking at it as past, present, and future. So there are a few things that came up in this reading. 5 of Pentacles does indicate a time of hardship. It could be something financially, if you're struggling to find a job or struggling with money, or if money's there but there's just not enough of it. It could even be something more medical if you're having issues with your body. Now, before I scare you all away, that is coming up in the past. So that says to me, a lot of you are probably going through this now, or you're closing out that cycle, which is what the 10 of Wands indicates. What I really love about this reading, essentially, it's saying to me, you Pisces, King of Cups, you know, male, female, doesn't matter. There's something big up ahead for you, and I almost sense it as the metaphor of like shaking a champagne bottle, like it's about to pop, it's about to celebrate, and something about whatever this pop is, whatever this unexpected gift or blessing, which we'll get into that in a minute, whatever this is coming in, the universe is preparing you for it. But the key ingredient to all of this is that you need to take the first step to get yourself out of a situation that truly has run its course. Now I get it, easier said than done, right? There is great value being put into this reading here, saying it's not just about the way you feel. King of Cups says the way you feel is incredibly important, extremely important, but it's about doing more than just, okay, well, I feel this way. That's step number 1. That's awesome. Assessing your emotions and your feelings, even your intuition about a scenario. The missing key, or the missing link for me in this reading is, but what about the information? What about the thoughts? What about the logic? What about the planning, the strategy? A lot of you, this came out as clarifying the King of Cups, the 6 of Swords, which is about restoring peace, especially in the mental sector. It's about finding inner peace, but especially peace of mind is really important. As you can see in metaphor, this person driving the ship here, which I think is you, we're removing ourselves from rocky waves, those upswells of things that happen in life that they shake us a little bit. 5 of Pentacles moments, which again, card of hardship, disappointment, trouble on the horizon, whatever you want to say. This to me, kind of appearing in the middle, is saying, I think the worst is over, Pisces. In fact, I think you have something very big coming to you, but I could also see this as the universe is holding you back. Or I'm sorry, it's holding it, meaning the opportunity, back a little bit more. Why? Because there's something you need to still detach from in this scenario of hardship. And ultimately, I think I want to hop into the oracle cards here because these are really significant in what this message is about. The first one that came out is perform a random act of kindness. I think essentially this is saying, as tricky and turbulent as times may be or once were, that's no reason to let that suffocate or stifle your ability to be kind. My Piscean gang, right? You guys represent the idea of universal love, spreading love and oneness throughout the universe. That's sort of your motto, your credo, if you will, right? So again, it's like, don't let negative or pessimistic situations impact your ability to love, impact your ability to enjoy life, impact your ability to just be a good person, right? Even if money is tight, it doesn't mean that smiling at a random stranger on the bus couldn't change their day. So I think the universe is nudging you to, despite whatever is going on, see the glass half full, because that is going to serve you in a karmic way, in a very unexpected, beautiful way that I don't think you're necessarily anticipating or expecting. Last week, Gemini or Aquarius, I don't remember which one, had a very similar reading about doing a act of service or a gift, a favor for others. Their whole reading, and this serves a purpose, guys, their whole reading revolved around the idea that, well, it was easy for them. It's something they naturally had the ability to give. They had the energy, they had the time, they had the money to help that person out. So to them, it didn't mean anything. You know, sure, it felt good to do that act, but it was almost this, they brushed it off as, oh, no big deal. Like, it was not memorable to to them. However, the person on the receiving end, it changed their life. It was very significant. It was the person having the worst day ever. And by you offering them, whatever, that seat at the doctor's office, they're just like, oh my God, like my faith in the world is restored. There are actually good people out there. So what I'm getting at is this is something good, something very big, like shake the champagne bottle is coming into you. Like when this comes in, it's going to burst, right? It's going to be big. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be celebratory. But I think you need to mentally wrap your head around the idea of you're still putting energy or time into something that really it's like beating a dead horse. Something here is done, and I think the universe is waiting for you to take the first steps to initiate that change so that they can meet you halfway. There's great value being placed on emotionally. You're already very aware of the situation. Now it's coming to terms with it mentally of, okay, well, if it's not meant to be mine, maybe I do release it. And maybe I get something even better because it's my destiny, right? It's my destiny to move away from something that ultimately it was burdensome, right? It's not to say it was a waste of time or it was for nothing. I would argue some of the most valuable lessons in life come from difficult times and hardship. And that's exactly what this oracle card is saying to you. Turn lemons into lessons, right? Bitter, right? Sour. It's not necessarily something we enjoy. Doesn't mean it's not exactly what we needed to hear or see or experience at that point in time. But getting back to this, which I think is what you guys are interested in, doing a simple act of kindness sets you up for beautiful karma, right? Karmic energy, however you want to say it. The universe is watching your every move, and I mean that in a high vibrational way, not, nothing you need to fear or be creeped out by. It's saying they're seeing all the good deeds and good acts you do just by waking up every day with a high vibe and putting that out into the universe. That in itself is like a good act. It's like a good, I wanted to say like act of service, right? To the world, to others, to humanity, right? That sounds so big, but that's what I mean. As a water sign, you are so empathic and compassionate and intuitive, and you may brush it off as whatever, because it's so inherently normal to you. That is something amazing that you bring to this world. So make sure that whatever you're going through isn't impacting your ability to share your love, to give your love to lots of things. And of course, I'm going to say practice healthy boundaries. Don't be giving to a tapped resource, right? Because I could also see this message as that. Maybe the bottle is closed for a reason because universe is saying, no, not this one anymore. Maybe you got really burnt out with, a fire sign or a Gemini or something like that. And the universe is saying, we have to set limits on how much we're willing to give. But I don't want that to negate the message that sometimes just random acts of kindness, even to strangers, it sets you up for good karma and good success. Now, when I asked, okay, tell me more about this gift, more about this blessing. Some of you could be receiving good medical news. Some of you maybe have recovered from a situation, especially if there was heavy alcohol use involved. It could be that your body just reached a point where it's like, oh, I don't feel good about this anymore. So maybe you quite literally put the lid on it, right? Like you capped off the bottle and you know what? I'm ready to do it this time. I'm more empowered, right? It's Aries season, right? This is the start, the spark of maybe a new adventure where you're not slowing yourself down because of your own desires, yes, but more shadow side desires. I want it because it tastes good. I want to be with this person because they make me feel good about myself. But maybe you're rewriting the story to see it in a higher vibe where it's more empowering. I could also see this as you got nothing left to give to a person who put you through a lot of hardship, and that's why the universe is saying, like, wrap it up. Others of you, this could be something at a job where maybe you love what you do, but ultimately they're not paying you enough. So it's possible that when you speak up and say something or initiate any change in a situation that it's pretty much tapered off, it's not saying you have to up and quit. It doesn't have to be that dramatic, but coming to the recognition that this doesn't feel the way I thought it would. Okay, good. That's the first step. Then you sort of have to, your emotions and your thoughts have to be in conversation with one another. So by taking some step forward that, again, you're basing it in logic, in your ultimate truth, what you want, who you are, what you believe, there's something about that's what's shaking up this bottle where it's going to pop, and there's either an epiphany, even the way his eyeball, like it's finally seeing something for the first time. It could be that, say, again, you're putting your passion and your love into something, but it's not allowing you to get by in life. Maybe you're a teacher and you're making pennies, but you love your students. It's possible that this pop essentially is recognizing drawing back your energy where, again, it's not of use to you, it's not good for your mental, physical, emotional health, it's possible that this could represent something like a pay raise or a promotion or something where all that bullshit that you were carrying around, you were so dedicated to it, by coming to the realization that, you know what, I do deserve better. Like, I've paid my dues, and it's not necessarily from a place of ego, it's a place of self-respect, of wanting to care for yourself, take care of yourself and maintain your internal balance. That's when the universe is like, yes, because if you are the initiator, if you spark the action, the universe will align with you. That's what this new beginning is. That's what this new option is. Putting something down that essentially you've just outgrown it. It doesn't mean it's terrible, but it also doesn't mean it's great. Does it serve you anymore? I think you guys are starting to make friends with the idea or become comfortable that, okay, maybe it is time for something else. Or maybe it's just time to mix up the ingredients to try something new. Relieving or releasing yourself from something that has been keeping you stuck, that ushers in a new start, and it is full of passion. It's full of magic. It's full of light. It's full of excitement. So rather than getting kind of like this downtrodden mentality of, oh, well, I went through an experience and it was very uncomfortable, I would challenge you to look at it as like, it was humbling. Like, I definitely learned a lot, but look, that information is serving you. Smooth sailing. This situation, no matter how difficult it was, again, instead of making yourself out to be the victim, which you can do, it's your life. I'm not telling you you can't. I don't think that will serve you in the long term, because if you're looking to get to this, pop the champagne, let's celebrate something big, understanding the difficulties and hardships and trials and tribulations you went through, that is almost a domino effect that unlocks this big surprise. And it does have to do with setting yourself up for good karma. You know, be excited for your friends who got a promotion. Be excited for your friends who are doing well and thriving, because if they can do it, you can too. It shouldn't be the opposite of, well, why do they deserve this and I don't? You do deserve it. So the minute that your mind is jumping to that conclusion, it's like you're going in reverse. This is paving the way for positivity. Again, turning lemons into lessons. It doesn't mean you enjoyed the process, but it means that you are understanding that the universe has a greater plan for you up ahead. So anyways, this Five of Pentacles, essentially, when I clarified it, it said the Fool, a new opportunity, a new beginning. So moving away from financial crisis, again, something with your health or your body, a relationship that felt very strained. This is like hitting reset. And I do want to say it's going in a different direction. Sometimes this card has to do with Aries season, I would offer, something about the changing of the season, the spring equinox. Very lighthearted, very like having a new lease on life. Hope springs eternal. It's very youthful. It's very innocent. It's very fun. It's pleasure seeking. It's curious. I think that's what this new chapter is, when you come to terms or get comfortable with the idea of letting something go, that it has been very familiar, but because it's so familiar, I think you've clung on to it because out of familiarity, right? The comfort zone, essentially. People do that. I'm not throwing shade at you. I'm not judging you. But essentially, that's why things aren't moving, is because there's an inevitable release. But this release helps you with this feeling of hardship. Again, King of Cups says to me, there's a big opportunity ahead, but you have to know that you want it. You have to take those steps to go after it. And when you do, just taking that one step, waking up and doing that one thing differently the next day, that could be a domino effect where all of a sudden these things start to taper off and you're like, wow, I feel great. Why didn't I do this years ago? It doesn't matter. You're doing it now, right? Live in the moment, but you have blessings coming into you. This sometimes has to do with Aquarian energy, which I think is important to mention, specifically the planet Uranus, however you want to say it, right? It's a little bit kooky. It's a little bit off kilter. It spins in a different direction. It has like a, what do you call it? Not perpendicular. Its angle, its axis, its rotation is different from the rest of the planets. The reason I'm saying this is that there's something very different and unique to you that, and I want to be careful how I say this because this is a positive thing. You may take it for granted because you wake up every day and it's around you already. It's what's in your heart. It's how you love. It's how you show people who you are. It's almost like it's a gift. It was something you were blessed with. It was a God-given gift, but because again, it's become so familiar, you may not see the value in it. I would even argue some of it see it as a detriment, when really it's your superpower. A lot of this has to do with changing your perspective and capitalizing, or however you want to say it, I'm just going to go with that. Capitalizing on your own spiritual, intuitive gifts. Anything to do with water, spiritual, intuitive creativity, as well as your, again, empathy, kindness, ability to love. This is reminding you to take good care of your health and your body. A lot of cards indicating, are in this spread are indicating that maybe there was a time where you weren't treating your body as your temple. And so you're only going to be as good as you're treating your body. So some of you are starting to turn that corner of, you know what, I'm not going to drink anymore. Or, you know, it doesn't have to be that extreme. I'm not going to eat past 8 p.m. Or do you know what I mean? Treating your body right. This is about keeping one foot in the pool of intuition and the other one is grounded, right? So again, mixing grounded reality with the dreaminess. I think that's important for you, Pisces, as well. In addition to the idea of, yes, what is the word for it? Check in with your emotions, but do not deny or refuse the logic as well. It really is. It's a balancing act. That's what temperance is too. Moderation, everything in moderation. It seems like what you're springing into in this next chapter by releasing just something that is tremendously heavy and keeping you back. Your wishes start to come in. And I say that very sincerely. It's like this was written in the stars. So don't attribute the sour lemons to being punished. It's just the opposite. The sour lemons it's almost like the sour lemons are getting you to see how lackluster a situation is. It's okay. You can justify it that, well, I need it because I have to have a job. I need a relationship because, you know, whatever I'm going to say your excuses are, that's fine. You can stay exactly where you are, but it's going to be more work if you do. And I think that's the irony is that some of you, you're trying to muster the courage and the strength and almost give yourself a pep talk of starting this new chapter, when in reality, once you move away from whatever this was that was kind of keeping you stuck or down or depressed, you're going to see, oh my God, my life was so much harder just trying to control all that, trying to keep it all together, right? Even emotionally, trying to keep my emotions bottled up to be, PC or corporate or, whatever you want to say for the sake of others, when it's like, you're meant to express yourself, right? And for a lot of you, that may even have to do with a career change or being with a person who's more in alignment with what your heart really wants, where you don't feel like you have to bottle yourself up. You don't have to pretend to be something you're not. You don't have to exist in the shadows, right? This black and white card. When what you have, it's glowing, it's fun, it's colorful, it's beautiful. It's about expressing yourself. Aries season, right? So then when I went to clarify even more about what is this gift coming in, this seems very big. It seems very good. It's like you do one simple act of gratitude and you're not even doing it with like a transactional mindset. Well, if I do this, the universe will. No, you just do it because it's like you don't even know not to. You're very generous and very thoughtful of other people. Make sure that's not your downfall. Make sure that you're not doing lots of things for people who really are, not deserving, but more so taking from you with, I don't know how else to put it, taking from you, but it's actually weighing on you. It's negative. I just keep getting this. I think this has to do with a stranger. There's some simple act where you just lend this gesture, and maybe you did this years ago. Maybe you did this months ago, and I almost see this as the universe is like, I didn't forget about that. I saw that. And it's almost like you sense that something is going to come from all this dedication. I think you're right, but I'm having trouble phrasing this. I apologize if it's a little clunky, but you have a greater gift coming to you, but it's not coming because of you breaking your back to succeed in some area. Ultimately, the universe wants you to be healthy and happy. So if you are killing yourselves trying to get ahead in like a rat race job, this gift doesn't come in because of that. This gift comes in because you recognize this isn't healthy for me. Like, I am confident enough to walk away knowing I'm not going to sacrifice my life, my marriage, my social life, however you want to say it, time away from my family to clock in on a job that I don't even like. I'm not getting ahead. There's no sense of growth or promotion. That's the universe saying, good Pisces, now what? I hope you understand what I mean. When you honor and respect yourself, the universe hands you a huge gift. And for some of you, it will be a raise or a promotion. But again, if that's the case, it's because you do see a lot of value in the current situation. Wheel of Fortune, it was destined. It was meant to be. This is, card 10 or card 1, if you want to do it numerology-wise. It's the beginning of a new cycle. You have a lot of cycle changes coming in, and it feels very divinely guided. It feels like written in the stars, and it could even be romantic with the lovers, right? You have a lot of major, heavy-hitting cards here, right? These are all major arcana. These are big guys. These are power player moves, and I almost think that's what the universe is saying to you. It's like, do the unexpected. Do something differently than you've ever done it before, because you may get, well, A, you're definitely going to get something you've never gotten before out of it, but you're going to experience, I'm hearing like elation, joy. Release any sense of bitterness, of resentment. Just take it as a lesson, chalk it up to that, and understand, okay, the universe has a plan for me. Let me tell you, it's a really good plan. It's a really good plan. But again, you have to take the first steps. You have to be the initiator of that action, and then universe is like, oh, is that what you want, Pisces? Okay, I'm going to help you out now. There's that gift, right? There's that blessing. There's that opportunity. Let's just put that next to the Wheel of Fortune. Raise your hand if you want that, right? All right, last but not least, I just wanted to touch on, some of you are going to enter into some sort of contract with a King of Cups. That could be a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. It doesn't have to be. I like this King of Cups, though. I do, despite it being a little creepy looking because it is Nightmare Before Christmas. He has a lot to give, and there is something about shaking the bottle here that's so important to me. Yes, that is a metaphor for people struggling with alcohol addiction, so just be mindful of that. This whole message for you, if that's the case, may be about healing. It may be about wellness. Most of you, this feels like a raise or a promotion or a celebration of detaching from something that was very unhealthy or toxic, but it took you a long time to realize it. And that's okay. The important part is that you did realize it and you made the steps to remove yourself from it. So with that, some of you could even be moving towards seeking medical help if you are suffering from, say, depression, right? Maybe it took you a lot of courage, a lot of guts to be open and truthful about, yeah, you know what, sometimes I don't feel okay. So some of you may be moving towards wellness, medical professional. That was really being underscored to me. Others of you, this could be something in terms of business contracts. If that's the case, if you're switching jobs, it seems like you're going to have more money in the next chapter. I really do sense that. Others of you, it could be a romantic offer. If that's the case, I still maintain the fact that universe is holding this person from your life just until you can get a few strides ahead so that you can fully remove yourself from the energy of what was keeping you down. So this truly is like a new chapter, a new slate, no emotional baggage, no mental baggage, like peace of mind about your past so that you can move into the future optimistically. There could be romantic relationships or even business relationships, whatever you want to make it out to be. Definitely Sagittarius. There's some Gemini. There's a lot of Aquarius here, as well as I would sometimes say Aries, especially because we are in Aries season. I will read Aries in this card here. I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? Oh, and timestamp. If it doesn't have to do with an Aries zodiac sign, it feels like you guys may sort of hear the calling, if you will, that, okay, it's ready. Sorry. I am ready. It is time to take some strides forward. Like, I'm ready to do it this time. And no, if you fail, try again. That's not where the chapter ends. In fact, there's just something so much bigger coming, but it does come with a release. And some of you may be avoiding the release, wanting to embrace this new chapter, this new life, but what you're not understanding is that there's something that can't come with you. That's sort of what the universe is saying here to me. But I would go after whatever this is to you. If this means anything to you, if any of this offered you confirmations, I really like these cards. With the lovers, I know we always jump to the person we love, and that's fine. I would also argue, though, because there's a Gemini in nature to this, it does have to do with choices, with decisions, with logic, air energy. There is a lot of weighing out of options, but also not letting those suffocate you into not moving at all. Check in with yourself emotionally, but also stay grounded when you're making executive decisions for your own life. And more so, don't pass off those executive decisions to anyone else, right? It's your life. So as I say in your tarot readings, you're accountable and you're responsible. So if you are not happy, if life is giving you some bitter lemons, ask yourself, and I know this is hard to hear, but ask yourself, well, what part of me chose to stay in that situation? And what's cool about that is if you can recognize, okay, humbly, maybe I did choose to stay there out of fear. That means that you're self-aware and that you can also choose to embrace something new. 2 tens, right? Which one do you choose? Which one do you choose, Pisces? It's up to you. All right, Pisces, I think that's what I got for you. Please do let me know in the comments below if any of this resonated. Thank you for rolling with me on this untraditional format. For those who are new, I do typically shuffle all the cards in front of you, just so you can see that there's integrity behind how I do this. But the message was so good, I didn't want to not share it with you because, FYI, I recorded 25 minutes of this 2 hours ago and realized I wasn't recording it. I never pressed record, so I'm going to admit, I had a small meltdown. I was like, why did this happen? Pisces had and then I had to practice what I preach and be like, Practice emotional intelligence. This is not the end of the world. Maybe the universe didn't want that reading for a reason. So I gave you this one, and to be honest, I think it was nearly identical to the last one, but who knows? I'm trying to go with the flow, you guys. So anyway, thanks for sticking with me. I will see you next time for more tarot, specifically next Monday for more tarot. Bye, Pisces.